Okay, good afternoon. Today we're going to look at this tool called Canva, and it is a tool to do graphic design work, which is a really simple tool that anyone can use. I'm going to show you, if you've looked at the Facebook posts, you'll see that I've made all the tiles using that. However, you don't need to use it just for Facebook. So while you're watching this session, which I'm going to present to you shortly, I want you to be thinking about what other ways can I use this tool? How will it be useful for me or for someone in my club or for anyone in a wheel to use? But not only thinking about in a wheel, because I know there are people in the room today that may be involved with other businesses or work that may find using a tool like this is really useful. So I'm going to just share a screen and see if it works. This presentation I'm going to do with you now is actually, has actually been created in a free Canva account. So this is the presentation that I have created. I'm going to just present it. Oops. I'm pressing buttons too quickly. Okay. So this is going to present just like a PowerPoint presentation, but I think it's quite cool because, as I said, it's done in a free one and it's got moving parts to it. So today we're going to look at using the online creative tool called Canva, www.canva.com. Now, Canva is basically a graphic design tool that anyone can use, and it has a free aspect to it as well as a paid account. So in this session, we're going to look at what is Canva, what can I create with Canva, and then how can I use Canva moving forward. So those are the three main things we're going to look at. So what is Canva? So we need to go to this website, www.canva.com, and I'm going to exit the presentation because I'm going to show you what it now looks like, because that's the presentation I'm presenting, but this is what Canva looks like. Can you all see it? Making sure I'm actually presenting that screen. Can I have a thumbs up? Yeah, okay. So this is, I've set up, this is a free account. And so I'm just going to play one of their little videos. So along the top here on this toolbar, it's got a section called Learn. I'm going to go to their tutorial saying getting started. Getting started. And it's just a little video saying welcome that I'm going to play for you now.
Welcome to Canva. Let's take a look around.
I'm just going to stop it. Can you see the presentation? Can you see and hear the video? Right.
The homepage and learn how to find what you need to start designing. With Canva, you can design anything. There are thousands of professional templates to get you started. You can explore templates in a few ways. Start by typing keywords in the search bar. Browse by document theme, or scroll down the page and be inspired. If you have something specific in mind, you can enter the custom dimensions here. In the top menu, you can discover templates by theme. Explore photo and icon libraries, printed products, apps, and more. Or access Design School, where you can learn to use Canva and supercharge your design skills. The sidebar helps you organize your designs. You'll find all the designs you've created in this tab, and designs shared with you by your team in this one. Creating a team is easy. Just add the people you want to design with, assign their role, and invite them. You can also create folders for designs, photos, content, and ideas to keep your projects organized. Canva's homepage makes it easy for you to design anything.
Okay. So the great thing here with Canva is that it has everything here in one sort of portal. You can create presentations like the one I'm doing now. You can create posters, Instagram posts, for flyers for advertising events and activities, or Facebook posts, and many more. Okay, cards, logos, videos, all sorts of things. And the great thing about it is that if you're going to do a social media post, it's going to be the right size for that social media platform. Now, with the free site, you will know when you are designing something because it has the word, I'm going to show you shortly, it has the words free written on it. Otherwise, you pay for a pro account. Now, I personally have a pro account because I use so many of the images that it gives me freedom to use those. So for a pro account, it works out at around about $150 for a year. So that's an expense that I have chosen to absorb. And I've only just noticed this recently that they've got a non-profit, so maybe that's something I can explore to get a free account for in New Zealand. But you only see the pricings if you are logged into a free account. Otherwise, you don't see that in a pro account. I'm going to show you now what my pro account looks like, because you'll see where I am creating. This is the portal that I use. So it doesn't look any different to the free one, except you'll see, so this is where I prepare the Facebook posts. So I have made a whole lot of the tiles that go on Facebook, and I pre-prepare them in bulk, and then I download them. The simplicity of being able to create is it gets easier, but Canva makes it really easy to get started, because to get started at any time, you have all these pre-created backgrounds. So this one had a little note on it saying it was free. So I can choose that one, and I have that free background, and then I can edit the words and type in what I want to type in. And then I can add, I've uploaded images and things, so I can add and logos and things that I've downloaded off the internet. So I can add anything on there that I have already uploaded, or I can go to my elements and I can search for pink ribbon, and I will see that that's where I can get a pink ribbon. I'm going to show you more how to do this shortly, but this is just to give you the initial concept of dragging and dropping. I'm going to go home. So I have all of my documents saved in here. I have them saved. I save them all into folders because I work for Headway. I've got the conference ones. I've got some work I did for Joanne, the work I did for Look Good, Feel Better. And I actually went through, cleaned it all up, and I've thrown out a whole lot of stuff recently. So I just create lots of things in lots of different shapes and sizes. So I'm going to jump back to my free account. Because what I wanted to show you with this presentation that I'm doing is that it's really simple to use some pretty amazing tools. And I now just want to present it without having to pay for it. As I said, this whole presentation is on their free account. So what can I create? I've given you a tour of my Canva account. I have created birthday invitations. I have created flyers to events. I've done not just the social media. I created Christmas cards and can get them printed out. Business cards, get them printed out. With a free account, with a paid account, I can take any of my designs and I can resize them to fit. So if I create a social media post, I can resize it to make it into an A4 poster if I wanted to. On a free account, you can't do that, but you can. But there are other things you can do by dragging and dropping them over. So I'm going to show you a video now, which is a getting started tutorial on how to get started and how to design things. Because I've given you a very quick overview already, the video actually gives you, well, it says it in their words in a lot easier way. It's not escaping. Here we go. So let's go back to home, and I'm going to go to the Learning Centre and getting started. I'm going to say starting my design.
Let's discover Canva's editor, learn how to create a design, and customize a template. From the homepage, select a template and start with a new blank design. Welcome to the editor. This is the side panel where you'll find all the things you can click or drag and drop to add to your page. In the Templates tab, there are thousands of professional designs to get you started. Upload your own photos or videos in the Upload tab, just like this. Browse millions of premium stock photos from our photo library. To search, type in keywords for what you're looking for. To narrow it down more, add a plus symbol and then another keyword, or use these handy filters. In the Elements tab, you'll find illustrations, shapes, animated stickers, charts, graphics, and much more. Search in exactly the same way. There's so much to explore. Discover our high-quality video library with millions of videos at your fingertips. Perfect to get your designs moving. To create your first design, start from scratch or use a template. Everything is customizable. Select the object you want to change, and a toolbar will appear above. It's never been easier to express your creativity.
Okay, we're going to have a go. And we're going to design a flyer. So we're going to design a flyer along the lines of this. So I want to create a poster to advertise a high tea that we are going to hold during March, to have something for Membership March. And it's a poster that we want to then be able to share with our friends, send it to everyone in the club who can send it to their friends. I'm creating it as an A4 poster so someone can just print it off. I did this one beforehand, but I'm going to now take you through the process of how can you create it completely by yourself using the templates. So I'm going to go back home and I'm going to start a new design. And I want to create a poster. So I'm going to go to click on the poster. It's given me a blank one to start with, but then what comes up on the side here are all the templates that I can use. So these are pre-populated templates. I found this template already, and I just click on it once and it comes up. Now it has a different picture to the one I just showed you. It's in different colors and it's got different wording on it. Now, by the way, I know that is a free poster because when I hover over it, it tells me it is free. Most of these that come up on a free account are free, but some, if they don't say free or they have a little crown on them, then you have to pay for them. But okay, so we're going to have, I quite like that, the wording high tea for a cause, but I want to change the color of the wording. So I click on the words. I might make them a little bit smaller so I can just change the font size. Let's make it 140. And I want to change the color. So I click on the color and the little box here. So I'll go into the pinks and I'll move it around. I quite like that pink. Let's change the words here. So I'm going to put the inner wheel the Inner Wheel Club of Aotea present for a cause. All proceeds will go to our national project. Oops. Okay, and then I need to add in the details of when it's going to be. So none of that is correct. It's going to be Saturday. I think it's the 4th of May, the 4th of March. We're not actually having this event, by the way. I'm just making it up. And it's going to be held at 2 p.m. And it's going to be held at, let's make up a venue. Let's go to the Vodafone Event Centre. And that's in Manukau. Okay, so I put the address of the place and then, okay, I don't like that color, so I'll change the color. I'm going to turn that off because I have something else that runs on my computer, you see. Now, because I've used this color already, it sits there as a color that I can choose. So it's just a quick click of that button and it's changed the color. I want to change the image. I want to change this photo. So I now go to Elements and I'm going to search for a tea party. And when you're looking at images in Elements in here, you'll see it says free or it says pro. So you need to find the free ones. No, I do want that one, but I want it to go in that. So I drag it into the frame and you'll see that it is actually, so I've double clicked on the image there and I can move it around to fit the frame that is already in there. So this has got a transparency over the top of it. So if I want it to look as the full picture, I put it on 100, but it's got a little transparency on it. And that's using this little transparency button on the side here. There's a bar here, which I don't like the color of. So if I click on it, the color comes up on the side and I just change it to the same pink. The positioning needs to change for all of that. And I want to add in there the price. So I need to add text. I'm going to do it as a subheading, and I'm going to say it's going to be $25. I don't want it to sit there. When the little arrows appear, you can move it around. And I want to change the font on that. So I can change the font to any of these fonts that don't have a little crown next to them. I can use any of those fonts. So there's lots and lots and lots of fonts on there that you can use. And then I want to change the text color, and I'll put it in that pink again. Go back, I want to put more text on. So tickets available from Aotea at iwnz.org.nz. And you see it's too big. So I can change the size by two things, either dragging it down on the corners or selecting it and going up to here and choosing a size for the font size. And again, I can change the font. The ones that are already being used in the document sit at the top of the document so that you can always know which fonts are being used in the document. Don't like the positioning of all of that. I can move it around. Now this one here, because it is set as a template, so I've done one first where it's set as a template. These words were all in a template, so they all move together as one component. These ones have all been done separately, so I move them all around separately. Oops, I can even turn them, or Control Z to undo what I've just done. I can also, with my font, just like on a Word document, I can change the justification to have it centered or left or right justified. So all of these buttons across the top do the same thing, and you can play around with them. The other thing I want to add to it is an inner wheel logo. Now I have already uploaded an inner wheel logo into this document. So because I've done that, I just click on it once and it appears on the document. I resize it by dragging from the corner and I place it where I want it placed on the document. But I also want to, because it's this year with the theme, I want to upload some more media. I want to put this year's Pink First logo in there. So I go to click Upload Media, and I an image or a logo or anything that I have saved on my computer. It might be a photo from one of our club activities, or it might be a photo that I've downloaded from somewhere else. Preferably not, because you've got to think about copyright here. But this is, you can use this because this is for all inner wheel business. Now you'll notice though that with it being, oops, I double clicked twice, so I just delete one. With it being a free account, it keeps the white background. But what I can do, when the frame appears that says I'm editing that, I can crop it. There's a really great tool, which I know you can use on the paid account, but not on a free. So with Edit Image, it will tell me, because I want to do background remover, but it's got a crown next to it. So in order to do that, I'd have to have a paid account. But that doesn't matter. I just make it work with the fact that we've just got it with the white there. And I can live with that. You know, you can live with that. That's not the right color. Oh, yes, it is. So I've created that little poster. And then I want to share it. So, well, I want to download it. So the arrow here always means download. And before I move on, everything automatically saves. So if I was to exit off this, Canva automatically saves every 20 seconds or so. I can click in the box here and change the name of the document. So it's Aotea IT. just so I know what it is and easy to find. But I want to now download it so that it's not just sitting on Canva. So I go to download, and it gives me lots of options. So because it's a poster, it will suggest automatically that you download as a print PDF. But if you click on there, you can see that you can download it as a PNG, which is an image, or a JPEG, which is another type of photo. If you had put animated, like the presentation was, it's animated, it has moving things. So that would need to be downloaded as an MP4 video or a GIF. But the majority of you are going to download things as either PDF, which is like a document you can read, or you're going to want to use it as a photo. So if you're a club editor and you want to put a photo onto a newsletter, you will download it as a JPEG or a PNG. That means then that when you're creating your newsletter, you can just upload it, and you can upload it, and you download here. You can upload it in to import it into your newsletter document. So this now just downloads onto your computer. There's always messages that come up, and it asks you to choose where you want to. That's obviously what I was working on last. So you can just choose where you want to save it. It will always ask you this. I always just exit off. I don't get things professionally printed using Canva, but there is the possibility for you to send things to get professionally printed as well directly from there. So if you were to print posters, as I said, I've never used it. I don't need it. If I was going to print something, I would get it printed by a printer that I know. But this is how you download them and save them onto your computer. So I'm going to go back to home. So now when I go home, I'm going to see that it's been added to my homepage as a design that I've been working on. It just takes a little moment, and it will eventually show up with the image of what it is that I've been working on. So there we go. We've got the high tea poster sitting there. So that was a real quick run through. This is how I have created this presentation. So I chose presentations, and then from all of the free ones provided, I selected this template. Now, the first time I selected the template, there are 13 pages within that template. So I just selected one page at a time. So I chose this page and I created it. And so every time, it's just like building a PowerPoint presentation. So I built each page. Now, when I want to add a new page, if I click the plus button, it just adds a blank page on the end. So I want to use one of these templates. And let's see what this one looks like. Okay, so it now, because I had an empty one open, it's now added this template in there. If I want to change it, there we go. I just click the one that I want. And this is the one that I'm going to add in now. So you'll see that this was the original template that I used. I'm just going to drag it over here to change its position. So you'll see that that's what I chose, but this is what I presented to you. So I deleted the number because I didn't want it. This little tag on the bottom here, it looks like it's not selected, but when I look up in the corner here, I can see a color box, and that tells me that's the color that I can change. Because I have loaded the Inner Wheel logo onto this presentation already, it reads the colors that are in the logo. So this yellow matches the yellow of the brand of the logo. These blues match the blues that are being used. So if I click that yellow button, it's now changed this tag to a yellow. So in here, this blue, I want to change the blue. I'm going to use this one to match the Inner Wheel logo blue. The green, I'm going to click the yellow to change it to yellow. And this blue, I'm going to click that blue to change it to the blue that I want. So I've now branded this in the colors that will be the correct colors that I want to use based on the colors that were in the logo that I was already using. But why didn't I change the colors here on these components, these objects? When I click on those objects, no color selector appears in the corner. So these are preset, and I'm not able to edit those colors. So I just need to live with the fact that I need to keep those as they are. But I was able to edit everything else. So you'll also see I didn't change the coloring of the fonts or the font style. I just changed the wording. But if I wanted to, I can go into that and I can change the font style to however I want the font to look, whatever I want the font to look like. And I can change the color. It's a dreadful color, that one. The yellow to read, I know that. And I can change the size, either just by clicking plus. And you'll notice that it's gone on to the next line because this text box didn't allow it to. But if I extend the text box out, then it will allow it to stay on the one line. So everything is movable. If I don't want to have that wording there at all, I can drag it and move it around, or I can just delete it completely. I can delete that whole component. So that's now gone. And if I want to then add in text, I click on the text box and I add the text that I want to add. You'll notice that when you click on things, that they automatically appear in the middle of the page. And you'll also see now that I'm dragging it around that these little red lines appear. Well, the red lines are there to show that it's getting in line. So it's lining up with the middle of the question mark box and in line with the edge of the wording. So you can get everything lined up really beautifully because it has those lines put in there for you. It's not the same size or the same font as the rest of them, but again, once you start typing, you can change this. As I keep saying, you can change your font size and you can change your font style. I can go and change, so everything is totally editable. I just have to let some more people in. So that's what's really good about using Canva and playing with those settings. So the next thing I would recommend for you to do is when you open your own account with Canva, which I'll show you how to do in a moment, you go to the toolbar on the home page. You go to the toolbar where it says Learn, and you look at, they've got courses. So they've got Canva 101, and that is a beginner's guide, and it is a video. They're all short videos, no more than about 5 minutes. So they're just short learning clips. And if you press start, this is 3 minutes and 58 seconds. You can watch, and that tells you, so this is a series of videos on Canva 101. I've given you a quick tour, but you can learn more in depth there. Or you can go to the tutorials, and the tutorials are, how to get started, and you can watch all of these little tutorials that I just started showing you. They have a multitude of tutorials there for you. If you're really interested in it and you want to you want to trial a pro account. When you're in your free account, you'll keep being sent prompts and messages to say, do you want to trial a pro account? Canva are really generous and they give you 30 days. Like most places give you 14 days, 2 weeks. They give you a whole month to play with it. And then if you want to upgrade to a pro account, you can. As I said, it works out, it's about $150 a year. But before you even do, they say $15 a month, but then when you go in, if you pay it up front, it's cheaper. I also have an Adobe. I use Adobe InDesign for professional work as well. And I pay for my Adobe, I'm paying $130 a month for the full Adobe license. I'm paying and for a year with Canva, the same tools which I'm using Canva more for than I use my Adobe account. And I'm getting real value for money with what I use that for. But I lasted on Canva for a good 2-3 years, only using the free account. So you don't have to use a pro account. It's only if you start using it a lot. For an average club editor or a president or someone wanting to use it for their small business, you only need a free account. But you get a free trial for 30 days. How I recommend you do that is that you actually play with Canva for a few weeks first, and then you have a whole lot of jobs you want to get done, and then you get your pro account for 30 days and see if you're going to use it, because there's no point in paying for something if you're not going to use it. So I'm not trying to do an advert for Canva, but I'll stop sharing. So one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about Canva is that I really enjoy creating things, and I've been to a couple of professional development courses over my lifetime, and Canva kept coming up as a free tool that you could use for graphic design. But I was always convinced that I needed to have Adobe because I needed InDesign and I needed Illustrator, I needed Photoshop, I needed all those things. Now with my pro account with Canva, I can do everything I can do in Photoshop. I can do everything I could do in all the Adobe tools for a much smaller price. Canva has developed a lot over the last few years. But I just kept coming back to it because it's so easy and it's something that anyone can pick up. So if you're doing Facebook posts, and you just want to do quotes, for example, which I do a lot of for the Inner World New Zealand page, I go to the internet and I find the quotes that I want. And then I come over here to the Facebook posts, and sometimes I'll start with a template because maybe I like the colors, or maybe I don't like the colors, but I like the layout or something about it that I like. I'll start with a template, but what I end up with will not look anything like the template because I'll delete that. I don't like that. I actually don't like these colors, so I'm going to change the background. Oh, that's a bit too pink. So I'll make that a paler pink. So that doesn't match with any of these now. I don't like that, but I don't like the leaves. Instead of the leaves, I want to go to elements and I want to search for, well, what are some small flowers? And oh, look, there's some flowers that are quite pretty. I'll put those on the page. They'll be way too big when they come up. They'll be way too big. So let's turn them around to get rid of those. But that's quite cool. And these colorings, let's go for something along. Oh, these are the colors that are in the flowers. So let's try those different colors and let's see, oh, how does that look if I have that? So I've just completely changed the look with the click, click, click of the buttons. And I could end up creating, and then I will go and get my quote. And I quite like that, I might say a thank you post. Thank you. Let's make it bigger. And because I'm liking that pink, I want to make it yeah. And then I'll add, you know, thanks for your time today. You know, this is a quick little message to you. And then, you know, I can go around and I can tidy it all up. And there I go. I've created something which I started with. I think I liked the lettering on the Thanksgiving. That's why I chose that post, but I can create something completely different. And because it was a free one, when I go to download it, it'll download for free. So let's quickly hop back to that presentation. I've gone off piste a little bit. What I want to do now is I've given you a really good tour around, and we've had a go at creating the event poster. Now I'm going to unmute you all, and I'm going to get you to call out or let me know what you think your club could use Canva for in a wheel. So I'm going to stop sharing. So has anyone got any suggestions of how you think your club can use Canva? Remember to unmute yourself. Just call it out.
You could use it for making flyers.
Flyers. What sort of things would you make flyers for?
Just for promotion material, for, you know, maybe putting in cafes or putting on notice boards or something similar like that.
Good idea. Some flyers and cafe windows. What else?
Invitations.
Sorry, April?
Invitations, very much along the lines of your high tea one.
They have some beautiful templates for birthday invitations or celebration invitations. So yes, they would make lovely
fundraising activities.
Fundraising activities, yeah.
Yep.
It would be nice to make a thank you certificate for speakers who come to the club, and just give them with some details of Inner Wheel, and maybe also, you know, an invitation to come back for, like Ellie has done with 3 or 4 meetings.
Yeah. And so can you see now that you can upload the Inner Wheel logo and you can use the Inner Wheel branding, and you can create your own cards, you can create your own certificates within your club. I've just given another idea, and invitations to meetings.
Yeah.
Your next meeting, and as somebody said, highlight who the speaker is.
Yes, you can. So I can show you if you wanted. I can pop back into my old account. I've deleted them actually, sorry. In our AATIA newsletters, I used to create little sort of business card size ones that, you know, that were, you know, let's meet, you know, what's the topic of the next meeting, and that appeared in our newsletter.
Yeah.
Any others? Have you ever wondered sometimes how you get your club photos and you see that people have made collage of lots of photos that all fit into a nice, you can do that on Canva. So I can pop back in just a short second and show you. When you go to the elements section, you can ask for photo frames, and it presents you with templates that you just drop the photos into. So you can create a picture board of your members or your committee for the year. Or, you know, these are the members at an activity. You can make your Brady Bunch. You can make your Zoom meeting template, you know. So that's another idea of how you can do it. I will go back to presenting because I had come up with some other ideas as well. I think the business cards are a good one, that you can create your own little club business cards that you can hand out to, when you have speakers or when you have guests or when you're out. Instead of waiting for things to come to you from National, you can actually go in and create your own business cards that you can hand out when you're collecting or whatever. You can even make video presentations. So I've only just shown you a real small number of things that you can do, but I am going to go in here and show you this one about using Collage or frames. So when you see any of the elements that look like the landscape in them, this means that you can just drop a photo in there. So that's where you can add that to a page. And if you had a photo, so here we go. There are some collage ones coming up now. Everything's going very slow on my end at the moment. But so I've dragged that collage of you can see there's 3 images that go in there. There are full page ones coming up. There's lots and lots and lots of different options. But I'll then go and I'll look at photos because they have a whole lot of free photos you can do. So I can drop, see when I drag that image over where it's got the landscape, it just fills into that area. So I can drag them into that frame and they just fill that. Or if I just drag it on there, you see it's just gone onto the page, but it fills into the frame. So I can create these collages with these photos, and then I can put some words around them, and those can then be downloaded for you as a JPEG that you can put into your newsletters. So I think it's quite exciting.
Michelle, could they be used for making bookmarks using our old club banner designs?
Yes, so what you can. So what you would do is go home. So if you know the exact dimensions of something that you want, because I don't think, if I do a search here for bookmarks, I don't think it has a template for bookmarks. Oh, I tell a lie. Here we go. Here is a template for bookmarks. But if you know it, and you can, or if in doubt, you always just start with the blank one and you can create it yourself. But they always offer a whole lot of design ideas that you may want to use. So, there's one there and it's got a photo in the background. I think I've got a thing at the moment about that sort of that style of lettering. So you can start with the template or you can start with the blank one. But if you didn't like or wanted to know what the dimensions were, you can go home and you custom size. So say you think, I think it would be something like 200 by 800 pixels. And that's quite a long, so there's a bookmark shape there, and it's actually suggesting these might fit. So yes, you can create your bookmark there, and then again just download it. But say you've got one of those funny spaces on a newsletter to fill, and you want just a sidebar, you can do it that way as well. The joy of having the paid account. So I'm going to jump to that. Signing out of the free account again. The joy of having the paid account is that if I have a design that I really like and I want to make it into a different size, I resize it. So let's look at the let's look at that World Kindness Day one. So that was a Facebook post I did on there. But because I've got the paid account, I go to resize, and I can resize them to be any particular, I can set the actual size that I want, or I can make it an infographic as an 800 by 200. So it resizes it, but it doesn't, I don't lose the original copy. So that's resized, but I then do have to do a little bit of playing around to make it properly fit. I can then reshape all of the I can reshape all of those, and I'll probably add something else in there, but it gives me that size, and I keep the wording, and I haven't had to redo all the wording, and I've just had to play around with the layout a little bit. So then it just means that when it's saved as International Days infographic rather than, so I know when I go home that I have my original, that's my original size, it's Facebook post, and this one now is International Days infographic, so it's in a different size, and I've done that with a number of different ones. These are all my strong woman quotes that I've done for the Inner Wheel New Zealand Facebook page, and to do those, I've actually got 100 there are 100 sitting on there. I've discovered that 100 is the maximum that Canva allows you to have on any one document at a time. But I just went to the internet and I found a whole lot of quotes that I liked. I copied them, I pasted them onto a page. I then changed the font size. I always, if you're going to copy quotes or copy anything off the internet like that, you must give a source. So I've copied the quote is by Heather A. If it comes with the name of the person, you need to include that on there. And then because I've preloaded onto my account here, I've preloaded all the logos that I use. So I store them under a section called logos. And I have my uploaded files. I have masses of uploads of images that I've used, but I also file them in folders as well. So these are my Inner Wheel New Zealand ones. These are some images and things that I use regularly for Inner Wheel. So I just drag and drop them in there. But when I've created one, I then, to get the placement of the logos, I then, I won't be able to do it now. I duplicate the page and I just then change the background and I change the quote and I change the font. So I can sit and I can create about 30 in an hour, because I just go and I do elements. I'll search for, I actually do, I might do pink and blue, as if I just do pink and blue and I just get where I get my backgrounds from. And so I just drag them in to make them the backgrounds. Oops. And then I download them. So say I've created 100 on here and I want to download. I don't need to download all 100 when I go to download. If you click the little box at the top that says pages 1 to 100, it will download all of them. And any time you download more than one, it comes in as a zip file. But I don't want to download them all. I just want to find the one that I want to download that might be number 32, which is this one here. And I just click done, and that will, you won't see it on the screen when I click download. It just downloads the Strong Woman, that page, that one page. And I didn't select that I wanted it as a JPEG or a PNG. I'll cancel that. But that's what you select what style you want it to be downloaded in. So you don't have to download all 100. And this is the only file I have 100 on. That's how I found out that that's what the size was. Any other ideas that people are now creating, or any questions that you want to ask? No?
I think I just want to go and play with it.
Yeah. So how do you get this? Is that what you want to know?
Well, yes, you probably go to www.
Canva.com.
Yeah, canva.com. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's canvas without the S. So canva.com. And you just sign up for a free account. It'll take your email address and a few little details, like when you sign up for anything. And you can just start playing with it. It is, I find it is as safe as, I wouldn't be recommending anything to you if I didn't think it was safe. So I use it extensively. So if I use it, I haven't been affected by any viruses. I haven't been bombarded with, that's the point. If you do get bombarded with emails from them, you just unsubscribe at the bottom of the email. But I do find some of their emails are really interesting. When you sign up with anything for free at first, you are going to get a number of emails come in, but some of them are actually quite interesting because they link you to videos to learn more. So you'll probably find you'll learn more than what I know if you watch them all, because I've done a lot of my learning has just been intuitive. And then when I decided to do this presentation, I then went and watched the videos, and so I learned a bit more. But it's they are there to help you. And I do recommend it. So just go to www.canva.com and I'm sure you will enjoy playing. Can I just have a show of hands? If you go to the reactions at the bottom, are you able to do anything, a thumbs up, a smiley face, or raise your hand or something, just to show me that you actually feel that you learnt something new today and that you are going to try it and give it a go? That would be really interesting to see, because yeah, it's I think who wondered where these who's watched Facebook and wondered where these came from in the first place?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So the secret's out, the secret is out. Yes, it's me that creates them because that's my stress release. And I've learnt, and I love doing so much because it's really creative and it's just a lot of fun. So everything that any of you ever received from me lately, if you've received a postcard from me or a card or whatever, I've designed those on Canva. So that's where it's come from. While I'm here, are there any more questions? Okay, can we do the customary photo? I've just realised to close that box. Okay, let's do a smile for the camera, or maybe a thumbs up. Oops, hold on. of your thumbs up. Great. I'm going to, so the next in the series is not going to be until the 2nd of February. This is the last digital education series for 2021. The next one is the 2nd of February, which is still part of our summer holidays. So I'm going to make it a very light-hearted one, and I'm going to do on that one the some tips and tricks and secrets behind Facebook and social media. If any of you have any social media questions, if you register to attend that session, you will possibly be sent an email that's going to ask you to send some questions to me that are things that you want to learn, so that I'm actually teaching you something that you're interested in. In that session, I'm going to give you a little introduction and an outline to what the different kinds of social media platforms are. And I know that that's not of interest to everybody, but it might be of interest to some, just to find out a little bit about them. But I'm probably not going to do TikTok, because I just fundamentally just find that a very wrong platform, and I won't ever download it onto any of my devices. That's my personal opinion on it. So I won't be presenting something that I don't like to have on my devices. But I will go into a little bit about Facebook. That's predominantly going to be it. I can give you a little introduction to Instagram if you want to know what Instagram's about. And then the other social media platforms we have are LinkedIn, which is a really good professional platform, which IWNZ New Zealand has now got an account on. And how can we use LinkedIn to help us to link to professional women to get new members? And the other one will be Pinterest, which is not really of use for you for marketing or anything, but it might just be another little one of those hidden gems of something you might be interested in having a try on as a social media tool for yourself. So it's not all about development for what you can use for in a wheel, but what you may want to use in your own personal life as well. Any other questions while I'm here? Okay, stop recording.
Just a big thank you.
Thank you for your enthusiasm.